Hello, buddy. Welcome to another Siri test show. Got more helping us again.
Evening, just
Yeah.
been a hectic day. Right, okay, I'll do this chat. So we've got Mark's Hobbies in who says, "Hi Dano and Hello Kitty. I am not doing the Hello Kitty part work. I don't think so." We've got Gillian's Dots who says, "Good evening, Dano and Mark."
Hi, Mark. Hi, man.
Good evening, Mark's Hobbies. Mark's Hobbies says, "Hi, Gillian." D. Harris says, "Evening, Mark's Hobbies." D. Harris says, "Evening, Gillian." And Gillian says, "Good evening, D." And good evening to everybody in chat.
Yeah, we're going to get you a t-shirt, Hello Kitty on.
Nothing Hello Kitty is going to pass the threshold of this house. God.
That was mad yesterday watching the stream.
It's the first time I've ever said something absolutely looks horrible.
Yeah.
And what a terrible idea. That's the first time. I mean, yeah, never ever done that before.
No.
I'm like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, I know Hello Kitty's very popular, but obviously, I think it's trying to get more girls into it, into what works.
D says, "Evening, Dana and Mark, the Purge." Oh yes.
Right. Share screen.
What could you do to help injured people at an incident? Give them a warm drink. Give them something to eat. Keep them on the move by walking them around. Keep them warm and comfortable.
Keep them warm and comfortable.
When may you drive a car in this bus lane? You may not use it at any time. Outside its hours of operation. To overtake slow-moving traffic. To get to the front of a traffic queue.
Outside of operation.
You're about to overtake. What should you do when you see this sign? Overtake the other driver as quickly as possible. Hold back until you can see clearly ahead. Switch your headlights on before overtaking. Move to the right to get a better view.
Hold back until you can get a clearer view.
On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? Center. Either the right or center. Left. Right.
Center.
You see these double white lines along the center of the road. When may you park on the left?
Left. The left will be there.
To pick up or set down passengers. If the line nearest to you is broken. When there are no yellow lines. During daylight hours only.
I don't feel it was one.
If the line nearest to you is broken. To pick up or set down passengers. When there are no yellow lines. Which road users are most difficult to see when you're reversing your car? Children, car drivers, motorcyclists, cyclists.
Children.
You're unsure what a slow-moving motorcyclist ahead of you is going to do. What should you do? Stay behind. Move closer. Pass on the left. Pass on the right.
Stay behind.
You're approaching traffic lights and the red light is showing. What signal will show next? Green and amber. Green alone. Amber alone. Red and amber.
Amber alone.
What does this sign mean? Steep hill downwards. Uneven road. Adverse camber. Steep hill upwards.
Is a steep hill. Oh, I think it's steep hill up.
What do the long white lines along the center of the road mean? Hazard warning. Lane marking. Give way. Bus lane.
It's not a bus lane. Give way. So we could be hazard as there's a bend coming up.
Lane marking.
Then go for the hazard one.
An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there's no further danger. What could you do to help? Move the person off the road. Remove their safety helmet. Remove their leather jacket. Seek medical assistance.
Seek medical assistance.
You're having difficulty finding a parking place in a busy town. Can you park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing? No, not unless you stay with your car. Yes, if you don't block people from crossing. No, not under any circumstance. Yes, in order to drop off a passenger.
No, any circumstances.
What safety device must be fitted to a trailer braking system? Stabilizer, jockey wheel, corner steadies, breakaway cable. Stabilizer.
Is it a stabilizer or jockey wheel?
How will a roof rack affect your car? Fuel consumption will increase. The car will accelerate faster. The engine will use more oil. There will be less wind noise.
Oh, it's not enough wind noise. It will accelerate more. We'll use more oil.
Fuel consumption will increase.
Yeah.
Which arm signal tells you that the car you are following is going to pull up?
Let's see.
What should you do if you begin to feel drowsy while you're driving? Turn the heater up to keep you warm and comfortable. Stop and rest as soon as possible. Close the car windows to help you concentrate. Continue with your journey, but drive more slowly.
Stop and take a break.
You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? Select a low gear and avoid using the brakes. Select a high gear and use the brakes firmly. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a high gear and use the brakes carefully.
I'm going to select a lower gear and brake carefully.
How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Overtake them as soon as possible. Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed.
Be patient.
How can you make sure that a satellite navigation sat-nav system doesn't distract you when you're driving? Only set the destination when you're lost. Turn it off while you're driving in built-up areas. Set it before starting your journey. Choose a voice that you find calming.
Set it before you start.
What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on a dual carriageway? A tractor, a doctor on call, a fire engine, an ambulance.
Right. It's not going to be any emergency services, so it's going to be a tractor.
You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? Avoid roads with the national speed limit. Plan to travel at busy times. Prevent other drivers from overtaking. Allow plenty of time for the trip.
Can you say the trip?
You're driving towards this left-hand bend. What danger should you be anticipating? A vehicle overtaking you. Mud on the road. Pedestrians walking towards you. The road getting narrower.
Pedestrians.
What is the shortest overall stopping distance on a dry road at 60 mph? 58 meters or 190 feet, 73 meters or 240 feet, 53 meters or 175 feet, 96 meters or 315 feet.
I think it's 53 meters.
What's the meaning of this sign? No waiting on the carriageway. Local speed limit applies. National speed limit applies. No entry for vehicles.
National speed limit. I think no entry is red, workforce.
Local speed limit applies.
I think that would just be whatever the speed limit is.
No waiting on the carriageway.
I can't think what no waiting is.
What does this signal from a police officer mean to oncoming traffic? Stop. Turn right. Turn left. Go ahead.
Stop.
When may you drive over a pavement? To overtake slow-moving traffic. To gain access to a property. If there are no pedestrians nearby. When the pavement is very wide.
To gain access to a property.
What is a statutory off-road notification? SORN. A notification to tell DVSA that a vehicle doesn't have a current MOT. Information held by insurance companies to check a vehicle is insured. Information kept by the police about the owner of a vehicle. A notification to tell DVLA that a vehicle isn't being used on the road. A notification to tell DVSA that a vehicle doesn't have a current MOT.
I think it's a tell you've been used on the road.
What must you do when the amber light is flashing at a Pelican crossing? Stop and wait for the green light. Give way to pedestrians waiting to cross. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. Stop and wait for the red light.
Give way for persons that's already on the crossing.
In order to supervise a learner driver, you need to have held a full driving license for the same category of vehicle for at least 3 years. What other requirement must you meet? To have a car with dual controls. To be an approved driving instructor. To be at least 21 years old. To hold an advanced driving certificate.
Be at least 21.
An adult casualty isn't breathing. To maintain circulation, CPR should be given. What's the correct depth to press down on their chest? 15 to 20 centimeters, 5 to 6 centimeters, 1 to 2 centimeters, 10 to 15 centimeters.
I don't think it's 10 to 15, 15 to 20 centimeters. 10 to 15, I think that's too much as well. 1 to 2. I think it's 5 to 6 centimeters.
Which colour follows the green signal at a puffin crossing? Flashing amber, steady amber, flashing green, steady red.
Steady amber.
Before starting a journey, it is wise to plan your route. How can you do this? Look in your vehicle handbook. Check your vehicle registration document. Contact your local garage. Look at a map.
Look at a map.
You're driving on an icy road. What distance from the car in front should you drive? 4 times the normal distance, 6 times the normal distance, 10 times the normal distance, 8 times the normal distance.
So if it's normal weather, it's 2, double is 4 if it's wet. I think and then it's AC. It's 610.
What does this sign mean? Adverse camber, side winds, airport, road noise.
Side wind.
You're travelling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? Pull in closely behind the bus. Look for pedestrians. Sound your horn. Accelerate past the bus.
Look for passengers.
What colour are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? White, green, red, amber.
White.
You're approaching a roundabout. What should you do if there are horses being ridden in front of you? Accelerate past as quickly as possible. Give them plenty of room. Treat them like any other vehicle. Sound your horn as a warning.
Give them plenty of room.
What can you expect if you drive using rapid acceleration and heavy braking? Increased fuel consumption, reduced exhaust emissions, increased road safety, reduced pollution. Increased fuel consumption,
Yeah.
reduced pollution. What should you do when you move off from behind a parked car? Look around after moving off. Look around before moving off. Give a signal after moving off. Use the exterior mirrors only.
look around before moving off.
What does this sign mean? Parking area for cars and coaches. Direction to park and ride car park. No parking for buses or coaches. Direction to bus and coach park. Direction to park and ride car park. You're driving on a 3-lane motorway. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle lane if it's showing this sign? Cautiously approach the lorry, then overtake on either side. Follow the lorry until you can leave the motorway. Use the right-hand lane and overtake the lorry normally. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry. Use the right-hand lane and overtake the lorry normally. Cautiously approach the lorry, then overtake on either side. Follow the lorry until you can leave the motorway. Use the right-hand lane and overtake the lorry normally. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry.
Which sign means you have priority over oncoming vehicles?
See.
You should not normally travel on the hard shoulder of a motorway. When can you use it? When signs direct you to. When traffic is slow moving. When taking the next exit. When traffic is stopped.
When things direct you to.
When must you use dipped headlights during the day? When you're parking. When you're driving in poor visibility. When you're driving along narrow streets. All the time you're driving.
When your visibility is poor.
When may you wait in a box junction? When approaching a pelican crossing. When approaching a zebra crossing. When you are stationary in a queue of traffic. When oncoming traffic prevents you turning right.
Yep.
Simon is travelling through an urban area. He cannot remember when he last saw a speed limit sign and is no longer sure what the limit is. He thinks he can guess the limit from the evidence on the road, however. The driver of the vehicle behind him is following very closely, as if he thinks Simon is travelling slower than he needs to. There is one large vehicle ahead, which Simon is keeping a safe distance from. There is a speed camera in the distance. Although Simon is keen to avoid holding up other traffic, he does not want to break the limit and certainly does not want to trigger the camera when he passes it. The following car overtakes and cuts in between Simon's car and the large vehicle ahead.
There are no speed limit signs on the road. How is a 30 miles per hour limit generally indicated? By double or single yellow lines, by pedestrian islands, by hazard warning lines, by street lighting.
By street lighting.
Why is it dangerous to drive too close to the vehicle ahead? Your mirrors will need adjusting. Your engine will overheat. Your view of the road ahead will be restricted. Your sat-nav will be confused. Your view of the road ahead will be restricted. You're in a line of traffic. What action should you take if the driver behind is following very closely? Move over to a position just left of the center line of the road. Ignore the driver behind and continue to travel within the speed limit. Slow down, gradually increasing the gap between you and the vehicle in front. Signal left and wave the driver behind to come past. Slow down, gradually increasing the gap between you and the vehicle in front. You're driving in traffic at the speed limit for the road. What should you do if the driver behind is trying to overtake? Move closer to the car ahead so the driver behind has no room to overtake. Wave the driver behind to overtake when it's safe. Accelerate to get away from the driver behind. Keep a steady course and allow the driver behind to overtake.
Keep a steady course and allow them to overtake.
You're leaving a safe gap as you follow a large vehicle. What should you do if a car moves into this gap? Drop back further. Flash your headlights. Sound your horn. Start to overtake.
Drop back.
Drop back further.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so number 4. On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? Always the left lane, Dano?
Yeah, it's
Use the left lane on a motorway and you use the right lanes for overtaking, so it would always be left. Number 5?
so really it doesn't matter what kind of
No,
what's on the motorway. It's left
that
lane.
is the road on the motorway. You drive in the left lane unless you are overtaken.
Yeah.
Right, you see these double white lines along Central Road. When may you park on the left? You put if the line nearest you is broken. It's just simple. Pick up or set down passengers.
Right.
You look about that. That's a country road.
Yeah.
Not really a pavement, so it really just be picking people up and dropping them off. 8. You're approaching traffic lights and the red light is showing. What signal will show next? So obviously red is stop.
Yep.
It goes red and amber at the same time, and then it goes to green on its own.
Right.
9.
I knew it.
Yeah. You just got it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
That's all.
It looks like it's going uphill.
Mm-hmm. But if you read the 10%, is it going downhill or uphill?
Well, to me, the 10% is going uphill because it looks like the 1 is at the top and the percent's at the bottom.
Well, if it was uphill, the black bit would be the opposite way around and the 10 would be at the bottom.
Right.
So it looks like the 10's going downhill.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at a picture afterwards.
Okay, 13. I'm looking for them. What safety device must be fitted to a trailer braking system? Breakaway cable. So that means if it gets damaged or there's a problem or whatever, the trailer can easily break away and not cause any problems. Okay, 23.
Right.
What's the shortest overall stopping distance on a dry road at 60 miles per hour? Yeah. It's about 4 times. So if you times 60 by 4, you get 240 feet.
Right.
Okay. 33. You're driving on an icy road. What should you do from the car in front of you? So remember, double is in normal. So 2-second rule in normal. You double that to 4 seconds in wet, and in ice it's 10 times.
Right. Yeah.
36, I think, is the next one. Yep.
Yeah.
What colours are reflective studs between a motorway and slip road? Green. Remember, slip road is there to enter and exit a motorway. So it's green as in go. And then 41. Yeah, you kind of hazarded on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're driving on a three-lane motorway. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle of the lane if showing this sign? When you look at signs like that, they'll normally be on lorries that have an abnormal load or what they call large load.
Right.
So they are basically, you can overtake them, but they are telling you which side is safest to overtake. So the arrow is pointing to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. If it was pointing to the right, you'd overtake on the right. So it's basically just telling you which is the safest side to overtake the lorry.
Right.
Okay. So approach with care because it's an abnormal load.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's going to happen. You know, anything, strong wind could do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pass on the side that the arrow is facing.
Mm.
So, okay. So there we go. Okay, I'll go through this chat. So Geordie Dave says evening all, evening Geordie.
Hey.
D Harris says evening Geordie. Gillian's daughter said good evening Dave. Geordie says hi D and Gillian. Mark's Hobby says hi D. Mark's Hobby says hi Mark. Gillian says well done.
Cute.
And D says nice effort young fella. You definitely need to slow down a bit and think a little more. No offense, but you flew through that. Yeah. So if you're just getting stuck, just try and think about what the question's asking you or what the sign is saying.
Yeah.
So, but nicely done. You know, there was some questions in there that you've not been getting in the past, but you got them. So, yeah. D says that sign you will see on highway maintenance trucks and roadwork lorries giving directions. Oh, there we go. Oh, so when we next live tomorrow, MCC UK at 7 p.m.
New time.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back live then. D says, but still nicely done.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and 21st, so yeah, I'll probably do one next week. I just got to work out what day off and stuff.
Okay. I'll just answer this. D said, did you say 7? Yeah, we're moving it an hour earlier, D, because 7 till 9 is a little bit better for us, as in Dano working, I'm twiddling thumbs till 8 o'clock. Yeah, Geordie's the same. Horlick says 7's better on him because he takes medication that knocks him out. So we changed it from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. to make it a lot better for people. So, yeah, new time, 7 p.m. And then D says, night, Gillian, Geordie, and Mark's Hobbies. I think that's it.
Yep.
So I'll say good night. So it's a good night from me. I'll see everybody tomorrow on MCC UK. So signing off for now.
Yeah, been a night for me. See you tomorrow night. And thank you everybody for coming in and supporting on this. So night everyone.
Night.